Who are you? I don't know, but I'm writing to you anyway. Where are you? How far in the future? Where'd you find my journal? I may never know, but you can know me from what I put down on these pages. I come from a little village in the mountains. No one has left here since before I was born. But our lives changed overnight, just a few days ago when my best friend had a prophetic dream. A vision that the elder said means the season is going to end soon. The world is about to enter a new era. A great change is coming. Everyone was afraid. I was surrounded by questions and I began to feel how little I know. What is this season that is about to end, and why is it ending? What exactly is out there that could turn the world inside out? If there are still voices singing and laughing in the wilderness, I could record them before they're gone. I also thought of my dad, who always wanted to see the outside world but never did. So, I asked if I could leave. The elder had one condition for letting me go: that I take what I collect to the museum vault, a palace of art and memory at the edge of the earth. She says it's the only place safe from the turmoil of a changing season. I hope that's where you're reading this now. I can't stop the change that is coming, but this time on Earth could live on in these pages. What it looks like, sounds like, how it feels to be alive right now. I'm writing to you at the crack of dawn on the morning I leave home. I can smell breakfast cooking in the other room, and I can hear my mom's voice. My bag and Dad's camera, ready for the great departure. My bag and Dad's camera, ready for the great departure.
Three, two, one. Hooray! Mr. Lotto's here.
You're up. It's gonna be a beautiful morning. I'm making progress. I found the burner, camera, recorder, travel bag, Breakfast is in progress. Still gotta make a pendant. We haven't used this in so long. Good thing I saved the instructions. Just as you would use a shield to protect your body, an identity pendant protects your mind. Your thoughts, memories, everything that makes you, you. We don't wear them here in the village anymore. But if you're going into the outside world, I'll feel better when you've got a pendant shielding you. Diseases of the mind, like the dream sickness. It was Dr. Fumio's last invention. He realized that some psychedelic maladies were impossible to cure, so he made the pendant to prevent them in the first place. If you have a better idea how to protect your brain from being destroyed, let's hear it. That's what I thought. In times of war, a pendant can be used to identify a body. Let's skip that part. Objects have two layers, the physical and the mental. The pendant needs to absorb both. 1. Collect a sentimental object for each sense: sound, smell, feel, sight, taste. 2. Feel the sense and speak aloud a memory of the object. 3. Feed the object into the burner. The memory will leave the speaker as it is transferred to the pendant. That means I'll forget the memory after I say it. It's supposed to be painless. At least. Okay, so this old tape should work for our sense of sound. I remember you and I fell asleep listening to this tape. Your dad came home. We all rested together until it got dark. What an odd feeling. Like an absence, disappearing. The empty space fills itself back in until I forget that I forgot anything at all. I'm glad I'm only losing a few memories. If I lost too many, I wouldn't even know who you are. You should pick the rest of the objects. I'll lose the memories, but you'll have them in the pendant forever. So they should be important to you. They should be parts of your identity you want to be sure to protect. So think about what these items and what the memories would preserve about you. Let's do smell next. Find an object with a strong odor and that holds a piece of you.
Ancient perfume, sweet. Nothing is ever lost.
What did you choose for smell? Let's breathe in deep. Your dad used to bring these flowers home from his climbs. They only grow high up in the mountains. He was a great climber. He even found us a new source of water. I hoped after he would climb less, maybe even retire, but he always wanted to explore, and the only direction to go was up. Maybe the Elder is letting you leave out of guilt for what happened to your dad. If someone has the energy to leave, it needs to go somewhere. He fell into the Fitz ravine. You never found his body. But doesn't he rest with us at night? Doesn't he appear in our dreams? How can such a human being depart this earth without leaving behind a trace as strong as the flowers would still have their scent? Darling, I don't want to lose this one. I can't lose this one. Can we put the flowers back, please? Thank you.
Honey, wax, baby, waves. I was loved by people I have no memory of.
What did you choose for smell? Let's breathe in deep. This kind of candle keeps someone alive for the time it takes to burn, just a few hours when death is nearby. It can be enough for last rites, last words. This was Grandma's candle. She didn't want to use it. You spent a lot of time with her when you were a baby. I realized she wouldn't live long enough for you to remember her, or for her to see you grow up and discover what kind of person you'd be. So in a way, you don't know her, and she didn't know you. And yet, she loved you. I don't know where love goes, but it belongs to you anyway. Now touch. Pick something with a texture you like.
Cheap velvet flower. I collect stories.
So what did you end up choosing? Okay, feel the ribbon. I remember. I can see it so clearly. It was the Wandering Tale Festival, and the plaza was packed, the tension in the air. I remember you were so nervous. You moved from table to table, collecting everyone's story fragments, and then you stood in front of everyone and had to tie them all together into one story. You were calm, and your mind seemed to float through, inventing and remembering at the same time. It was the first time you did something in front of the whole village, and you won the blue ribbon. There were many moments throughout your life when I knew you would leave someday. I knew you wanted more stories than our little village could offer. I'm fine. Let's do sight next. Pick something that looks nice.
Mom and Dad before I was born. I was born in the glow of my parents' love.
So, what did you end up choosing? I remember. This was the night I told your dad I was pregnant with you. There was a party in the plaza. I didn't have anything to drink, just water. He didn't wonder why. At the end of the night, I told him I was pregnant, and he was so happy and so surprised that he threw up. For taste, we can eat breakfast and feed some to the burner. The memory I'll lose is the one we're forming right now. I want you to have it forever. standing here, you're having a last taste of home. Now you're protected by lost memories. A gem of home around your neck. This is my only condition for letting you go. You must promise me never to take the pendant off. And never tamper with it. Okay? Then I'm okay with you leaving. I think your camera and bag are still in your room. It's time to gather them up. I've lost so much. How could the world ask me to lose you too? Look at us. There we are. There we were. We'll always be right here on this beautiful morning.
I just performed a ritual with my mom. The moment has passed, but I'll record it in these pages for you, for the future. I never knew when my mom would share a memory of Dad while cooking, on a walk, with no warning. It knocked the wind out of me. Rituals take this grief and give it a shape and a story. Filling in this journal is a ritual too, but for a loss that hasn't hit us yet. I've brought tools to record the sights and sounds of this season. I'll start by recording the only place I've ever known. Public sleep music is a tradition of ours here. When the music ends, the village will begin to wake up. We have plenty of fresh water here. I wonder if it's more scarce in the outside world. Last night there was a goodbye party here in the plaza. Everyone was so afraid for me. To understand that fear, to understand where I grew up, you have to know the man standing watch over the plaza, Dr. Fumio. A village that was created as a place to heal. Is that where my instinct to try to help comes from? It's so strange to imagine I'll be shaped by places and people I haven't met yet. So strange to imagine that I might feel at home somewhere else. Kero Village was founded during the modernity. Much later, Dr. Fumio arrived and remade it in his image.
Is it recording?
Yes.
Okay. How to leave home for my daughter. Find a sacred square of earth. Lay down so you have the dirt at your back. Close your eyes. Close everything. Do you see for yourself? You see for the dead, for the unborn. Do you listen for yourself? You listen for the dead, for the unborn. Your ancestors are in that dirt. All the living and all the dead are holding you up. Now, stand. They're still there, aren't they? It's time to move, to entangle yourself everywhere with everyone. So the next time you lay down in the dirt, you will have so much more to tell them.
Pate fixed up 3 bikes instead of 1. They were right. The letter never made it. The season before this one, the war, seems so horrible. That poor baby. In the village, these cranes look like little creatures, grazing. I had no idea how huge they are. I feel nourished in these sights by the unfamiliarity of it all. These means of connection, long in disuse, are certainly telling me something about the world. Will they be used again in the next season? We learned about old technology in school, but not much about animals. What are these strange goat-like creatures? I cycled through landscapes, seeing them for the first and last time. I had no idea when I left my home how the season would end, or more importantly, how soon. On a cold, damp day, I feel true loneliness for the first time. Nobody could have described with words how big this world is, how it goes and goes. I passed through it, where others passed before me. This person wanted the season to change. Why? Time seems to pass differently around here. I feel so heavy and so light at the same time. I'm not really alone. I'm with myself. I'm with the earth. They wanted the season to change because they were so alone. One melody is like me out here alone. I can't really live like this. They kept themselves company with music. Two voices is like me and my mom. We can survive, but eventually you need more. 3 voices as complex as life is supposed to be. I could listen forever. In the empty places, I found companionship in the tapes I recorded before leaving home. The elder told me the story of her life. I listened back to it, ready to note down anything that seemed important.
Let's set the scene for the listener, whoever that might be. This is the elder speaking. We're sitting in the plaza, saying goodbye to a dear soul. We're here to see if there's anything useful in my mind that could help you on your trip. A century's worth of memories, dreams, fantasies, visions. Like a big, old, haunted library. When I die, this library will burn down. But which book should we check out first? I don't have all the answers, but I do feel the story of my life could help you understand what kind of world is out there. It's okay not to understand everything right away. The moment may pass before you've gotten a firm hold on it, but as long as you're there to witness it, to take it down in your journal, you, and others to come, will someday take the time to make sense of it all. First, I got old. That's an important step. Being an elder is all about how you react to strange events. The key is not to be surprised, but kind of frown and say something like, "It begins." Never say, "I don't know." Say, "We dive into a pool of uncertainty." I was born on the ocean. My mother and father worked on a cruise ship, the short-lived but glorious watery republics, floating cities. Most won their independence by the time I was born. How can I describe them? They were a jewel of the golden season, pleasure boats with a radical political program. How nice. The golden age was a time of flags, logos, mottos, mastheads. My mom taught me to read them. She was a ship's philosopher. My dad was a recycling engineer. Recycling on the ship was a matter of life and death. We had to get the most out of every object and watt of energy. He struggled against waste and entropy. It was a never-ending puzzle of inputs and outputs. The waste of one system could be the source material for another. It was stressful work. I remember one time asking him what the trouble was. He said, "I'm trying to create a system that is more efficient than the human body, which had millions of years to evolve and still has vestigial organs, and dies if it doesn't have water for 3 days." His name was Mirek Kale. I loved the way the ship would tilt and roll with the waves, especially as I fell asleep. And picture me as a kid in bed, feeling the swaying of the ship. It was like being rocked to sleep as a baby. I loved exploring the ship, too. Wandering through the suites, the swimming pool, the game rooms, and there were 2 dance halls. A large, elegant one and another one in the basement. A lot of my firsts were down there. My first dance, my first kiss, and so forth. Our ship was taken over in the early days of the war. That was the end of the watery republics. I heard the dance hall in the basement became a weapons cache. It took me half my life to say goodbye to the world I knew in my youth. Imagine me and my parents and everyone I knew being escorted off the ship by a company of soldiers. And I'm thinking, I hope they don't make a mess of my room. I was embarrassed by the younger kids who were crying their eyes out. But they knew, I guess. Yes, the start of the war was a turning of seasons, and we had been warned the season was going to end. Oh, but we didn't understand the warning. You see, one night, along a coastline, we saw shimmering above the water. Later, we found out this was an ancient warning system. It hadn't been used in so long. We didn't know what it meant. We just thought, well, ain't that pretty? We tried to stick together and camped out on the coast of the Prismatic Grounds. A kingdom of art and science. They got rich during the golden season. Everything that made them beloved before the wealth came. Passionate, uncompromising, self-obsessed, made them unbearable once they had power. Artists make terrible kings. Are you sure you want me to keep going? The story gets darker from here on. Okay, so conditions in the camp were getting worse. My mom got lost in thought for long periods of time. She'd be completely still for hours, days even. We realized she caught, well, now we call it time misperception disorder. It's when you lose your ability to tell how much time is passing. A minute can feel like an hour. A day can pass in 10 seconds. We don't know exactly. Our consciousness is delicate. There are minerals and sounds that can adjust it. Dr. Fumio's greatest fear was that someone would use this as a weapon. We heard about a traveling doctor who could cure these kinds of diseases. I decided to go find him. I found out his name was Dr. Fumio, and he traveled with his son Lucio. People talked about him like he was a god. The Prismatic Grounds had roped almost everyone into their system, until they reached the far wastes and heard no for the first time. Nobody reacted well. It got to the point of, neighborhood against neighborhood. Grievances had been buried so deeply we forgot they were there. It felt like things changed overnight. I'd pass through a city and hear later that they'd torn each other apart. I could not imagine it. I described my mom's condition to Dr. Fumio. He said there was no cure yet, but there was a village high in the mountains. He thought it was high enough he'd have a better chance at treatment. Lower places are more dangerous. He invited me to join them in going to the village, but I wanted to go back and get my parents and bring them with me. I packed my things and got ready to leave the next morning. That night, my mom came to me in a dream. She was standing in a field of flowers. I'd grown since I last saw her. We were the same height. She pressed a finger hard into my palm. She taught me well. I knew the meaning of the gesture. I knew no matter what I did, I'd never see my parents again. In the morning, I told Dr. Fumio I would follow him to Karo Village. The next few weeks were very physically tiring, hiking, climbing. And when we found the village, building, planting, cleaning, Fumio brought sick people from all over the world, and they got better. The treatments worked. Everyone was healing. So why couldn't I? One day, we got word the war was over. We never found out how it ended. It was like peace just swept over the earth in a split second. There was a party in the plaza to celebrate the end of the war, but I couldn't bring myself to go. Yes, it was over. But that night, as I was falling asleep, I felt the bed tilt and sway gently, as if it was being tossed on the waves of the ocean, as if I was back in my bedroom on the ship, as if I was back in my mother's arms, being rocked gently to sleep. I knew I was finally home, and nothing could hurt me.
I imagined coming upon a place as hidden and singular as my own village. Eventually, I found myself circling a valley, looking for a way in. We never used this kind of technology in my village. Nobody trusted it. I've heard sounds that can heal the mind. It feels like this noise would do the opposite. Must be a car, but it looks weird. I haven't seen one like this in my books.
Oh. The valley. One second.
I'm not the first to do this. Just the first in a long time.
Is that a strotopop? What are they called? What is it? I love old gear like that. It's getting more and more rare. I had a camera, but it broke. Not that interesting of a story, I guess. What are you doing here? The whole thing, huh? You're young. You got time. What kind of stuff are you recording? That's the way to do it, if you ask me. If anyone asked me, the valley would be a good place to use those tools. Too bad it's closed down. Let me finish up here, huh?
It seems like I'll have to wait for night to enter the shrine.
Hey. This was like a second home for a while. That was fun earlier when you showed up. And I was carrying the cardboard man. You were like, who are these guys? I've been pretty bored here. You know, the valley's going to be flooded soon. That's why nobody can go in there. The dam is falling apart. It's too old. There's nobody left who knows how to repair it. We're taking it down so we'll know when it'll collapse. It gives us time to evacuate everyone. Greyhounds. We're a community organization. We do all kinds of fun stuff. Health clinics, minesweeping, daycare, evacuations, weddings. We're new. We'll do anything to make the future better than the present. No big deal. We're trying to get new things going. But it's hard. The past really has a tight grip on people. Doesn't feel like a fair fight. So we're trying to... well... anyway. It's funny. I stood guard here for a week, and I've only seen greyhounds like myself, and valley people on their way out. But now I see you, and you're like a... new element, or something. I've never met anyone doing what you're doing. And we greyhounds gotta support new things. So... I'm not supposed to let anyone in. How can I? Gee, I think you should go down into the valley and take a look. Gotta try something here. Dang it. I was trying to wink. Well, you get the idea. Go on and put that old gear to use. You can take my map of the valley, too. I don't need it anymore. I'll be down to pick everyone up around midnight. See you then.
I met a greyhound. He let me into the valley. I think he wanted me to record what the greyhounds were up to, and he gave me a map. The assembly point seemed like a good place to start. I wonder what he expects me to discover in the valley.